We are all familiar with Jesus' command to us to go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. And his challenge to his disciples as he ascended into heaven: you shall be witnesses both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and Samaria, and even to the remotest part of the earth. The book of Acts of the Apostles is a record of the apostles and disciples of Christ taking the gospel to all parts of the known world. Church history records how swiftly the gospel was preached into North Africa, Spain, Britain, and India. These disciples took literally the command of Jesus to take the gospel into all the world. During the 16th century, the age of discovery, as man became knowledgeable that he could circumnavigate the world, the gospel went with them. Spaniards established missions in what is now California and the Southwest. Missionaries of the last 2 centuries have been pioneers in sharing the gospel to the remotest parts of the earth, to many people who have never had their own written language. Thanks to the work of skilled Bible translators, these people now have heard the gospel message and understand its meaning. They did this in obedience to the Master's call to go into all the world to tell the people the good news message. All the world seems like a very big place. No doubt you have heard the question, how do you eat an elephant? And you know the answer, one bite at a time. The same is true as we take on the challenge to take the gospel into all the world. We start with people whose lives we touch each day. Then, if each of us considers a small part of the world, our little corner of the world, then the world seems like a much more manageable domain. And that is the task Jesus gave us to tackle. We are to look around our part of the world and notice those who would benefit from a little bit of kindness, a caring word, a helping hand. And in the process of showing these things, tell a brief word about what great things we have found as God's most meaningful gifts to us, and indicate that such great treasures can be theirs as well. We never know where such a simple statement may lead. We all have contacts, some more familiar than others, some only brief encounters. But if we are asking God to train our senses to respond to His leading, there will be opportunities to say at least a brief word concerning some part of the overall gospel message to these people. Sowing the seed of the word gives it a chance to grow in the hearts of those who hear it. Now, we may feel like it is an unwelcome imposition on others to disturb them in this way. But in another way, Paul seemed to be implying that we should be a kind of carrying busybody in the lives of others when he said, "Be humble and give more honor to others than to yourselves. Do not be interested only in your own life, but be interested in the lives of others." Then he showed how Jesus humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on the cross. Jesus said, "I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep." And again he said, "Greater love has no one than this, that one lay down his life for his friends." Remember what Paul wrote. While we were still helpless, at the right time, Christ died for the ungodly. For one will hardly die for a righteous man, though perhaps for the good man someone would even dare to die. But God demonstrates His own love toward us in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. We too should be willing to give ourselves to the needs of others. This is God's love in action.